ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣೇಶಾಯ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಸರಸ್ವತ್ಯೈ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ಸಮಸ್ತಜನಕಲ್ಯಾಣೇ ನಿರತಂ ಕರುಣಾಮಯಂ ನಮಾಮಿ ಚಿನ್ಮಯಂ ದೇವಂ ಸದ್ಗುರುಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದ್ವರಂ ಓಂ ಸದಾಶಿವಸಮಾರಂಭಾಂ ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯಮಧ್ಯಮಾಂ ಅಸ್ಮದಾಚಾರ್ಯಪರ್ಯಂತಾಂ ವಂದೇ ಗುರುಪರಂಪರಾಂ. ಶಂಕರಂ ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯಂ ಕೇಶವಂ ಬಾದರಾಯಣಂ ಸೂತ್ರಭಾಷ್ಯಕೃತೌ ವಂದೇ ಭಗವಂತೌ ಪುನಃ ಪುನಃ. ಶ್ರುತಿಸ್ಮೃತಿಪುರಾಣಾನಾಂ ಆಲಯಂ ಕರುಣಾಲಯಂ ನಮಾಮಿ ಭಗವತ್ಪಾದಶಂಕರಂ ಲೋಕಶಂಕರಂ. ಈಶ್ವರೋ ಗುರುರಾತ್ಮೇತಿ ಮೂರ್ತಿಭೇದವಿಭಾಗಿನೇ ವ್ಯೋಮವನ್ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತದೇಹಾಯ ದಕ್ಷಿಣಾಮೂರ್ತಯೇ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ಶ್ರೀರಮಣಾಯ. Hari Om. So we have completed 23rd verse yesterday. So once a jnani, one who is deeply rooted, established firmly in his own self, there is no necessity for him to pursue any other objective in the outer world. That is what we have seen. No need. He himself is full. So, Uktam Artham Dhrudayati, same meaning is reinforced in 24th verse. Aprayatnena tu tapaha sahaja sthiti ruchyate sahajayam sthitau pakat ಶಕ್ತೀನಾಂ ಉದ್ಭವೋ ಮತಃ. ಅಪ್ರಯತ್ನೇನ ತು ತಪಃ ಸಹಜಾ ಸ್ಥಿತಿರುಚ್ಯತೆ ಸಹಜಾಯಾಂ ಸ್ಥಿತೌ ಪಾಕಾತ್ ಶಕ್ತೀನಾಂ ಉದ್ಭವೋ ಮತಃ. ಸೊ ಅಪ್ರಯತ್ನೇನ ತು ತಪಃ, ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವರ್ಜಂ ಪ್ರವರ್ತಮಾನಂ ತಪಃ ಸಹಜಾ ಸ್ಥಿತಿರುಚ್ಯತೆ. Aprayatnena tu tapaha. Tapa, penance which is performed, and in its performance there is no effort. Prayatna shaithilyat. So there is no effort in performing the tapasya. What is the tapasya here? Tapasya means constantly being rooted in one's own self. That's it. That is tapasya. So, when once is completely established, and it is an effortlessly established. In our case, what happens if we want to divert our attention from the external world to the internal world? There is an effort required, because mind takes us outside. We are trying to shift the thoughts inside. There is a struggle. There is a tussle. It's not that you sit in meditation, mind settles. It doesn't. Because there are so many vasanas, most of our karma vasanas are there. So mind is thoroughly extroverted. So there is an extraordinary effort is required in order to make that mind introverted, turned within, seeking the self, and firmly making that mind fixed in the self, and eventually dissolving the mind completely in the self, thereafter staying as the self, requires tremendous effort. Think. So, asamshayam mahabaho manodurnigraham chalam. So, kshanai shanai uparamet, buddhyadruti gruhitaya, atmasamstam manakritva nakinchidapi chintayet. There Bhagavan Krishna says, shanai uparamet. So, in our case, slowly, steadily, little by little, we have to conquer the mind, make it listen to our dictates, and mind completely comes under our control. Paramet, then withdraw. Shanai, slowly and slowly. Buddhya dhriti gruhitaya. With the help of the higher intellect, with fortitude, dhriti gruhitaya. With the firmness, slowly and steadily, we have to conquer the mind. Not at once. Shanai, uparamet. Uparama, withdrawal. Atma samstam manakrutva, having placed the mind in self, in Atman, having fixed the mind in Atman, nakinchidapi chintayet. Thereafterwards, there is no need for any sort of worry. Once the mind is tuned to self and remains there. But to make the mind settle, initially in the course of our evolution, tremendous effort is required. In all Bhashya of Shankaracharya, he stresses the need for effort. Once you transcend the zone of efforts, then afterwards a seeker glides into effortless meditation. Effortless meditation, naturally mind is withdrawn, focusing on self. It becomes just as for an ignorant man, outflow of the mind is natural. Similarly, for an advanced seeker, mind turned within, focusing on self, becomes natural. As natural as for an ignorant man, running after the objects, mind is natural. For a wise man, advanced seeker. Now, after that, still go advanced. Once the mind is established in Atman, there it remains. And there is no effort there. All efforts are withdrawn. Naturally, mind is established in self. In fact, mind doesn't exist there. Only self exists. So, mind dissolves. Therefore, that is called tapasya. Now, such a tapasya, prayatnavarjam pravartamanam tapah sahajasthiti, that is called natural state of one's own being, effortlessly established in one's own self. So, sahajayam stitau, siddhayam sahajastitau, siddhayam sahajastitau. Once this is accomplished, what is accomplished? In abiding in our own self naturally without any effort. Then it is called tapasya. Once this is accomplished. So, effortless abidance in one's own self, once it is accomplished. Once it is accomplished. Sahajayam stitau, siddhayam sahajastitau, kshane paripake prachalati. Then moment to moment, because he is established there, then he becomes ripened. That stability, that inside is rooted there. So tapasya becomes ripened. Kshane. It becomes more and more ripened. Think. So, Then what happens? Shaktinam udbhavo mataha vividha shaktayo vijrumbhanta ityartaha. Once naturally that is staying there effortlessly, and moment to moment the ripening takes place. In that ripening, many siddhis, many powers come. Many powers come. And Jnani doesn't have any ego of it. Why? These are all powers accrued not by special efforts, putting special efforts to gain them. Where special effort to gain the powers means ego is there. Is an effort. We have already seen mantra or through aushadhi, ityadi, or rituals, some powers we accrue. They don't remain. But once this Mahatma established in one's own self, day by day, he becomes ripened in that state. More and more glow comes. There is no growth in the Jnani, but tapasya, the entire environment, entire things about subtle body, gross body, and the powers they accrue in it. That is the thing. Vijrumbhata. Ata siddhasya tapascharya deshakala nirapeksha iti aha. Now, siddhasya. Siddhasya means a siddha. A siddha means what? One who had accomplished. What is that he accomplished? He accomplished in rooting himself firmly in his own self, staying himself in his own self, having accomplished such a person, siddhasya tapascharya, his tapasya. The tapasya performed by such a siddha, accomplished one. What is accomplishment here? Natural abidance in one's own self. For such a siddha, that tapasya is desha kala nirapeksha. It is not conditioned by time and space. That tapasya is not conditioned by desha kala. Nirapeksha means independent of time and space. Meaning, there is no time required. There is no time, no place. He is always there in that mood, in that established in self. For us, we need time and space. Our sadhana time, ye time, o time. But they are not conditioned by time and place. They are always established in that self. Because they are awakened souls. Think. That's what he says. Next verse, 25th verse. Parivrutopi bahubihi nityamatmani samstitaha ghoram tapascharatyeva natasyaikanta kamita. Parivrutopi bahubihi nityamatmani samstitaha ghoram tapascharatyeva natasyaikanta kamita. This is that their tapasya is not conditioned by time and place. Their state is different. It has nothing to do with the date, the space, time and place. Beautiful thing. Nityam aviratam atmani samstitaha siddhatmanishtaha bahubhi parivrutopi ghoram tapascharati eva. So nityam meaning aviratam. Aviratam means non-stop, no gap. No gap. Continuously beyond time. No gap there. It's not that sometimes he's established, sometimes he comes out of that state. No. So aviratam atmani samstitaha. One who is established in his own self, non-stop, no gap, continuously, as self. He never forgets who he is. He is always there in that. Siddhatmanishtaha, such a Siddhatma, and the most accomplished one, Atmanishtaha. For such an Atmanishta Purusha, Bahubhi Parivrutopi Ghoram Tapascharati eva. Even though he is surrounded by many people, he continues his Ghora Tapasya. Ghoram Tapascharati eva. This analysis further is done. He continues his Ghora Tapasya, even though he is surrounded by many people. Parabuddhigata Sandeha Sambhava Nirasartha Eva Evakaraha. Nirasartha means removal, throwing out, nirumal. See, this Eva Artha no Evakaraha, Tapascharati Eva. Eva means what? Parabuddhigata Sandeha Sambhava Nirasartha Evakaraha. There is no question of others, Parabuddhi Sandeha Gata Sambhava Nirasartha Evakaraha. So, from the other's point of view also, there is no question of doubt in others about this Mahatma. He is, from the other's point of view, no doubt about it, is always established. Eva sadhana dashayam deshakalad niyamasapeksham tapaha. See, when the sadhana is going on, sadhana kala, during the period of sadhana, spiritual practice, all such practices are conditioned by place and time. You need a place, you need a time to do your sadhana. So all our sadhanas are conditioned by time and place. Our sadhana is depending on time and place. Think about it. So, Siddhautu na tatha. Once the person is established in truth, then he doesn't depend on all these things. He is not depending on place and time for his own tapaha, tapascharya. Prayatne kriyamanehi niyama apekshante vigna nivaranaya, nirakaranaya. In all our efforts, with all rules and regulations, at the practice level, they are all put for what? To remove the obstacles. Oh, if this time if I do, I will not have any obstacles. In this place if I do tapasya, I will not have obstacles. So what all I do this here is only for the removal of obstacles. During the sadhana period, we are conditioned by time and place, depending on time and place, for what? To remove obstacles on the path of. So, early morning if I do, there won't be disturbance, obstacles. In this place if I do, I will not have any problem. So, we need all these things. At the time of sadhana, jnanina tapaha asmadadinam nisvasita uchvasitatmakam pranam iva sahajam anivaryam cha bhavati. Jnanina tapaha asmadadinam nisvasita uchvasitatmakam prananam iva sahajam anivaryam cha bhavati. Now, in the case of the Mahatmas, Jnanis Tapasya, like in our case, Uchvasa Nishvasa, breathing, is as natural as spontaneous, is it not? Do we put any efforts to breathe? No. So, our breathing is quite natural. A healthy human being, we have an asthmatic attack, that's a different issue. So, healthy human being, as natural as breathing. There is no effort in it. So, like in our case, Breath is which is normal, which is as usual, as normal, as spontaneous, as effortless. Similarly, tapasya of jnanis, as natural, as spontaneous, as effortless, as breathing of a common man. Example is given. So bhavati, tapasaha visheshanam ghoram bhayankaram. See, tapasaha visheshanam, ghora tapasya. See, ghoram tapasya. Ghoram is a word, visheshan, adjective is used for tapasya. Which tapasya? Ghoram tapasya. Terrible tapasya. Why the terrible tapasya? What is the meaning of visheshana, adjective, ghoram, terrible here? What does it mean? It means, tapasa visheshanam ghoram means bhayankaram. What the meaning? Sahankarasya bahirmukasya janasya ahankaragrasakam tapaha bhiti janakam iti na idam ascharyam. Now, ordinary people's tapasya, who is doing tapasya with ego, sahankarasya bahirmukasya, one who has ego, extroverted person, janasya ahankaragrasakam tapah bhita janakam. For them, very careful, remember, any tapasya people perform, puja, tapasya and all, in all such tapasyas, in all our sadhanas, we are not attacking the I, ego directly. No, you do puja, ego is safe. You do japa, ego is safe. You do yajna yagadi karma, ego is safe. You do your own meditation, ego is safe. Ego is happily safe. So ego says, you can do any tapasya, any form of sadhana you do, as long as you are not coming to me. As long as you are not disturbing me, you do your tapasya. So ego is quite happy. If you force the mind and make tapasya, may do tapasya, ego has no objection. I am there, no? So you are not killing me with your tapasya. So, bahirmukasya sahankarasya purushasya tapaha, the tapasya performed by a bahirmukhi, extroverted person, with the thought of I. In fact, in all kinds of such tapasya, since ego is not attacked, is quite happy. But in a tapasya, where the existence of ego, the I itself, is subjected to destruction, there the seeker, the ignorant seeker, gets scared, where he was asked to eliminate your own existence. As long as I am existing and doing some tapasya, safe. When I am attacking the ego, I am bent upon to dissolve this ego. So that enquiry, that tapasya, which ultimately challenges the existence of ego itself. So you eliminate your own notion of I, little I. I don't exist. It's a threat to the existence of I. So I commit suicide. This I has to be dissolved. Such a tapasya is ghora tapasya. Terrible. Where in that penance, the I also will be dissolved. I cannot. I maintain I and do all kinds of tapasya, no problem. I am happy. Doing japa, I did mantra japa, I did puja, I meditated, all happy. Where I is there, no? I is not questioned. I is not challenged. Existence of ego is maintained. Ego is happy. He says, you don't come to me, you don't kill me. Without killing me, whatever you do, you do. Earlier, my mind was challenging because used to extroverted flow, but now you have trained the mind, so mind also got trained. But ego is not disturbed. But what is terrible tapasya? For an ordinary man, it is terrible tapasya. From outlookers, onlookers, it is terrible tapasya. What is terrible tapasya? That tapasya where ego itself is challenged, ego itself is dissolved, I notion, I itself is get lost. Therefore, bhayankaram. It's scary, where you don't exist. Because I, whatever notion we are having right now, that doesn't exist at all. That I completely will be dissolved. That means I don't exist as little I. So fond of me, the personality I. Therefore, ghoram. That's what it says very beautifully. Bhiti janakam iti na idam ascharyam. Therefore, it is not ascharya, it is not a wonder that people are scared of such kind of tapasya. What is Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi's tapasya? Attacking the ego. I directly attack the ego. It is attacking the ego. It needs courage. It is denying yourself. Your existence itself is a myth. As a little I. If you dismantle it, there is no I also. If you dismantle all thoughts, all memories, all vasanas, there is no I. So this I is a myth. It's maintaining that existence is in a very illusory form. It is illusory form. Like as good as the form in the cloud is a myth. Myth means it is appearing, it is not real. So this ego itself is unreal. So such an ego has to be destroyed, which it has been maintaining its existence since aeons. And you are directly attacking, that tapasya becomes ghora tapasya for onlookers, because if somebody is attacking and denying the ego, that is a horrible thing. I cannot stand to that kind of tapasya. What does ego say? As I said, repeat again, repeating. Ego says, keep me safe, do whatever you want. So what have I been doing so far? Ego is kept intact. Ego is not challenged. Without ego challenging the ego, we are doing all kinds of studies, or discussions, logic, reasoning, arguments, japa, tapa, all the things, ego is intact. So we are not attacking directly the ego. Therefore, ahankarasya sapranashe sahajahi bhitihi. Naturally, there is a natural fear. If the I, so far I don't exist. So when the I is denied, I is dissolved, I is eradicated, I is eliminated, I is destroyed, that kind of tapasya is definitely fearful. Scary it is. I don't exist. Like why people are afraid of death? Because their death means they don't exist. That's what their fear is. Of course, they don't exist as this kind of relationship. Whatever relationships you have in this world, whatever notions, whatever knowledge that you have, everything is destroyed at the time of death. Therefore, I get separated. So-called I am maintaining entity that I am a Swami, I am this, I am that, I am rich, I am poor, I have this money, these are my people, these are my books, these are my properties. So all this what I have generated in my life with hard work. All is going to be destroyed at the time of death. This foam, leather, like a surf, bubbles, what we have created in this life around this so-called another root bubble called ego. But relatively it is a longer time ego exists. But these bubbles what we create as a role that you played, experiences that you have gathered in this life as this or that, all that are going to burst out. No mother, no father, no wife, no children, no husband. Whatever you are holding on, it's all nonsense. It's not real. So death snaps everything. Therefore, people are afraid of death. But the ego exists. So in a way they are happy. Okay, this life, next life I get. But no, in this tapasya of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, the ego is permanently going to be destroyed. It will not exist for eternally. Then only realization is possible. So when somebody is attacking the ego directly, it is scary. Sahajahi be natural, the fear is natural for ignorant people. Therefore it is called Ghoram Tapasya. Terrible tapasya they perform. Nityam Atmani Samstitaha. Be rooted always in the self. These jnanis perform tapasya always, aviratam, non-stop. And there what kind of tapasya it is? Ghoram tapaha charati acharati. They perform ghora tapasya of destroying, denying their own ego. Tasmat yad ahankarinam ghoram tat sahajameva bhavati tadrusho mahapurushasya. Tasmat yad ahankarinam ghoram tat sahajameva bhavati tadrusho mahapurushasya. For ahankarinam, for those who have this ego individualized entities, for them this is ghora tapasya, which is ghoram, which is terrible, which is fearful, is quite natural for the jnani. Tadrusho mahapurushasya sahajameva bhavati. That kind of tapasya for a mahapurusha, it is quite natural. Naturally they are established in their own self. How? Is it quite natural for them to deny that ego? They already denied. They have seen that ego is only a shadow. It is not real. So for them to stay there without ego is quite natural. For us to eliminate ego is a great pain. So Ramana Maharshi's marga, eventually everyone has to transcend ego, but Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi marga is a direct attack on ego. He gave such a marga. Direct attack on the ego. Aham krutim yo lasati grasitva tasya sthitim bhavayatam kshamah kaha. This sloka, I was trying to get full sloka, but I could not get it. I couldn't find where it is. Aham krutim yo lasati grasitva. Lasati means one who shines. Lasati shines. So, grasitva aham krutim yo lasati. Having devoured, having dissolved, having destroyed, having eliminated, having killed the ego, the one who shines, having killed ego, destroyed ego, tasya sthitim bhavayatam kshamah kaha. Who can imagine? Who can understand? Who can even try to think or to know what could be the state of that person? Who is capable of understanding that state? That state which has transcended the ego, that state nobody can understand. Only a realized man can understand another realized man. That's why I said, remember the example, animal consciousness, human consciousness. An animal is always an animal. You can never understand. He may be domestic animal of a human being. You may say, my animal is very intelligent, it does all the work at home. Whatever I work, animal is with me, protects me, loves me. All that nonsense you can speak. But still the animal is animal. Animal can never understand the human consciousness. Similarly, we may be with Mahatmas, but we will never understand their consciousness till you transcend. So therefore, stop measuring Mahatmas with our scale. Because your scale is physical, there is beyond. It's impossible, it doesn't match. It is like trying to measure the solid in a liter form. How many liters of solid? You cannot measure. Therefore, evam siddham tapascharata munehe kutaha vijanavasa abhilashaha. Such a person who is always rooted in his own self, which is not depending on time and place. Where is the desire for him to be in solitude, to be away from public? He doesn't desire anything. I want to be alone. That desire also doesn't exist. For whom? One who had transcended, established. For us, we need solitude, we need time, place, because we are still seekers. We are our sadhana is depending on time and place, environment, etc. Mood. First, fundamentally mood. आज मूड नहीं है तो साधना गया. So therefore, kuto vijanavasa abhilashaha. Where is the question of such a desire for such a man? Tadaha tasya munehe ekanta kamita na ekante vijane kama so asya iti ekanta kami. Ekanta kami means one who desires to be alone. Such an ekantaka. Ekanta kami means ekanta kaminaha kamita. Ekanta kamita na. He is not a ekanta kami. Meaning, ekanta kami, ekantam vijane kama. That ekanta means vijane. In the absence of public, alone. The desire to be alone. Absence of public. जिसके पास ये इच्छा है सस्य इति एकांत कामी तस्य भावः एकांत कामिता न भवति इति भावः. Such a person, this man, he doesn't desire anything. He is there always rooted in his own self. That is the beauty. They have transcended all these Panchakoshas and all. Therefore, no sound can disturb them. Therefore, some Mahatmas, you see, some great Siddha Purushas, yogis, they are in deep, they don't even know. They are hazaron, some thousands of years they are in deep samadhi. Think. There no. Sometimes they wake up and ask what is the year going on now. Some people come into Jada Samadhi, they don't go into analysis of all these things. They have transcended the time. First, one thing is it. Desha bandha dharana, vastu bandha dhyanam, kala bandha samadhi. Once you transcended all the layers, you are always there in your own self. In sahajasthiti. Ramana Maharshi was like that, in his own, established in his own self. Naturally, he just remained there, that's it. Once awakened, he remained there. Okay? So, atha adhyayam upasamharati. Now, the chapter is getting concluded. Jnanam shakterapetam yo मन्यते नैव वेदसः सर्वशक्तेऽभिमतः पूर्णो पूर्णे यस्वस्वरूपे हि बोधवान् ज्ञानं शक्तेरपेतं यो मन्यते नैव वेदसः सर्वशक्तेऽभितः पूर्णे स्वस्वरूपो हि बोधवान् यो ज्ञानम अपरोक्ष अनुभव रूपम शक्तेः अपेतम अपगतम पृथक्तया वर्तमानं मन्यते इति यावत्. Those who consider this jnanam, what is jnanam? Aparoksha anubhava rupam. What is jnanam means not our jnanam. I gained Ramana Geeta, I learned jnanam, I got knowledge of Gita. This is not jnanam, it is only information. What is that? Jnana means what? Aparoksha anubhavam. Direct realization. That is called jnanam. So, yo jnanam aparoksha anubhava rupam shaktehe apetam apagatam prataktaya vartamanam manyate. Those who consider that jnanam, that direct realization, is devoid of the power. Devoid of the power. Jnani means established in his own self. Such a person has no power. He is devoid of power. Iti manyate. Those who consider things, sa naiva veda, saha avidvaneva na samshayaha. He is only an ignorant man. There is no doubt in this. One who considers jnani without power. Jnani was established in his own. बार-बार मैं repeat कर रहा हूँ. Jnani means not our jnana. One who is established in aparoksha anubhuti. He has no powers. Thus, if somebody thinks he is only ignorant person, and there is no doubt about it. Only ignorant people think a jnani has no power. Ambhoditarangayoho iva jnana shaktiyoho अवियोज्यत्वात् एकस्वरूपत्वाच्च ambhodhi tarangayoriva. Just as there is no difference between ocean and the wave. Similarly, there is no difference between jnana and shaktiyoho aviyojyatvat. There is no difference between jnanam and the power. Just as there is no difference between ocean and the wave. The wave is not different from ocean. So ocean in action is wave. Ocean in motion is wave. Because ocean's motion is not like a river motion. River's motion is different. Ocean moves. Where? There only ocean is there. In the form of waves, they just come and then go. Only waves created. So, similarly, there is no difference between jnanam and shakti, power. Eka swarupat, both are same only. What is the wave? Ocean. What is the ocean? Wave only. There is no difference. Similarly, jnanam and power, knowledge and power, jnanam and shakti, there is no difference. So in jnani, both they exist. The question was what? Does jnani have powers? That's what the entire analysis of the chapter. So, agnehe ushnatam kaha prathak kuryat? Can you separate the heat from the fire? Fire is lit. Just as heat is inseparable from the fire. This example we give in Vedanta also. Plus, Pushna Prabhamva. Can we separate the sunshine, light from the sun? Prabha, shine, light. Can we separate from the sun? No, not possible. Similarly, knowledge and power are inseparable. Sarvashaktehe, Sarvasmin Shakte Shaktiyute, Abhitaha Sarvataha Purne, Swaswarupe Brahmatmane Bodhavani Jnani. With all the power surrounding himself. Sarvashakte, Sarvasmin Shakte Shaktiyute, Abhitaha. And he has powers on all things, and whole, because he has become Sarvajna, Sarvavyapi, Sarvashaktiman. ज्ञान इज विश इज एनफ. जैसे रमन महर्षि बार बार ये कहते आए हैं, he told umpteen number of times that keep on doing your vichara. Finally, grace does the trick. Gurudev also said same thing. All the great Mahatmas who have realized, they all attributed their realization only to their gurus. Gurudev said, he pushed me beyond. Tapon B pushed me beyond. So without a guru, grace, not possible. And gurus come only when we become so humble, down to the earth, complete flat on the ground. No intellect before guru. That's why Advaitam Trishulokeshu, natu Guru Sannidhau. You can talk about Advaita anywhere, in all three worlds, but not in front of Guru. Therefore, that's what seeker's standpoint. Therefore, Sarvashakte Swasmin Shakte Shaktiyute Abhita Sarvatah Purno Swaswarupe Brahmatmani. So, one who is established in Swaswarupa Brahmatmani, Bodhavan, meaning Brahma is Atma, Atma is Brahma, that realized man, he is full of powers all around him. Natu Shakti Shunye Vastuni Nava Dehabhimanine Sharireve Va Purusha Vyakti Visheshe. His Shakti, his power is only in his self. Not his power is in Vastu. Where is our power? Our power is in wealth. Our power is in property. Our power is in Saman, Ikhatta, Vastus. I have that car, I have this watch, I have this, I have this fridge, I have that. So I am more powerful than you. Actually, they don't have any power. We assume that Vastus give us power. An illusion. Say, Natu Vastu Shakti Shunya Vastuni. There is no Shakti in the Vastus. So he doesn't see them. He doesn't see his power in them, which has no. Nava Deha Abhimanine Sharire. Nor he sees that he is not identified or seated in any object which is devoid of what? Power. Or he doesn't feel his power in his body. My body is powerful. I am very healthy. These are all vastus. His power is only va purusha vyakti vishay, or in a particular different person, vishesha purushame. Another person, oh, my power is in him. I think I feel secured. I am powerful when you are with me. This Atma Jnani power is only in his own self. It's totally freed. That's why Alexander came to a great Mahatma sitting under a tree. He said, I'll chop off your head. Talwar nikala. So took out his sword. And there's no fear in this Mahatma. He straight looked into his eyes. Alexander got scared. There's no fear in you when I want to chop off your head? He said, no fear. At the most you can chop off my body. I am not the body. I am eternal spirit I am. So why should I worry? He was not understood. Oh, you are so powerful, you are not scared, I'll give you a boon. He said, what the hell to your boon? I don't need any boon from you. I don't need anything. I am full within myself. No, you must ask something. I am very moved by your fearlessness. Oh, if I have to ask you something, please move aside. You are blocking the sunlight. Where is that state? Absolute free, non-dependence on anything. Because one who has transcended this knowledge, this body, mind, intellect, deeply rooted, they are the ones who are really fearless. Because as long as ego is there, fear is there. Remember, fear means ego is present. Absolute egoless, there is no fear. Like a baby. Babies don't have fear. In the sense what? They are in the mother's lap. They don't know that mother is carrying them very tender. They are, Mummy, girayega nahi mujhe, don't. That fear is not there. They are so secure. They feel that yes, I am not afraid. When ship is sinking, everybody is scared. Somebody asked with a little boy, 5-year-old boy, are you not scared? We are going to die. No, why should I? I am in my mother's lap. That is fearlessness. So in total innocence, there is fearlessness. Innocence means what? Absence of ego. So we have to transcend it. So Purusha Vyakti Visheshasyapi Swaswarupa Vichara Siddhau Akhandatma Swarupa Labhat. Now even any person, Purusha Vishesha, koi Purusha hai. He also does this Atma Vichara, Swaswarupa Vichara Siddhau. When he completes his self-inquiry and gets accomplished in that, Akhandatma Swarupa Labhat. He also gets Siddhi. Once he knows through self-inquiry, realizes, he also attains that Akhanda Atma Swarupa. But infinite self, he gains. Iti Ekadashodhyayaha. Thus we have completed this wonderful chapter, 11th chapter. Now, 12th chapter I am not going to start from tomorrow. Okay? This is a very deep subject, 11th chapter also, very high. Because it speaks about Triputi. So this is a heavy, there are many shlokas also are there, 35 verses I think, if I am correct. Yeah, 35 verses are there. So it takes a lot of time. And this is all about Triputi. So this we will take the next series. Today I am concluding for this month, August 2025. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.